Are you all happy now? You dumb, stupid, motherfucking racist that had to have the country back from the black guy, from the gays, from the transgenders, from everybody different, from all the minorities. Are you happy now? Because all this shit going on in Charlottesville, Virginia, unfortunately, I don't think this is the end of it. Because everybody, and I'm willing to bet most of them voted for Trump, decided, oh, we're going to hold our own rallies. Our Nazi rallies. And that's what they are. Now, I'm pretty certain that this video, once it gets on my channel, probably won't last very long, and I'll probably have to take it down. But I'm going to say I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to say. I'm not going to advocate for the death of anybody. I'll advocate for people getting jailed. I'll advocate for people getting prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. While I am all for free speech, hate speech is not what needs to happen. Now, is it just white supremacists? No, there are plenty of groups doing all kinds of hate. However, I will say that any Trump supporter that still believes in Donald Trump, you are a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot, and you are the reason that this happened. You're the goddamn reason that this happened, and if I could yell right in front of your goddamn face, I would. I would yell in front of your face, I would yell in front of your children to let them know that their daddy or mommy is a fucking brain-dead moron. Now, what the actual fuck? Now, I'll tell you what, right now, we got all these, neo-Nazis and stuff like this. Where's Indiana Jones? Where's Captain America? Damn shame that those aren't real. They're, of course, played by actors. But it's a damn shame that stuff can't actually happen. Because violence, unfortunately, is not the answer. Unfortunately, violence does beget more violence. The problem is it's getting to the point where you even had a car plow into and kill one person in Charlottesville and injure a bunch. And from my understanding, what I'm reading is they were counter protesters, not the actual protesters. But I don't want to hear, oh, it's because we don't want them to remove a statue, a Civil War statue, this kind of stuff. The Civil War statue happened. The South shall rise again. Shut the fuck up. The South lost. Get over it. And it wasn't even about racism. Or it wasn't even about slavery, at least for the most part, as far as I know. Study up on your goddamn history about the Civil War. That's the thing. Now, I'm not going to get into that whole can of worms, but I'm going to say this much. What's going on in Charlottesville, and by the way, there are some other racial protests going on, even in Seattle. And maybe not specifically today, but there have been. And I've seen an uptick, a major uptick in my own state, where I've had to yell at people to get out of my store that I work at because the owners that are of a different nationality than American, that is all I will say, I will not give divulge details about them, they're not in fear of their lives, but because of a bunch of stupid fucking white people. And yeah, I'm white, and I'm just going to clarify, I did not vote for Trump, because I actually have a goddamn brain. Because while Obama wasn't perfect, and I admit he wasn't, I did not approve of a lot of stuff that he did. Don't tell me that what Trump's doing isn't fanning the flames of this. He will not specifically speak out against this stuff because he wants it, and everybody in his cabinet does. Everybody that believes him still wants this. Now, it's been an escalating thing for the last 15, 20 years. Especially since, unfortunately, 9/11 happened. That there's been this huge uptick in racism because we believe that, oh, no, the Muslim people are bad, which they aren't, by the way. We believe that the black people are bad. They aren't, by the way. We believe the Latinos are bad. The Mexicans are bad. They aren't, by the way. The Asians, they aren't. Just because some radicals from the Muslim, that say they follow the Muslim faith did do stuff, that doesn't mean that all Muslims are bad. Just because some blacks do things, some black people have done things and committed crimes or whatever, does not mean that all blacks are bad. Just because Asians have done stuff doesn't mean all Asians are bad. Just because some Hispanics maybe have committed crimes. You're telling me that a lot of people haven't committed crimes all over the damn country, all over the damn world. And guess what? It's not because of their nationality. It's because they're criminals. And that is my problem with these Charlottesville protests. With these and that's what it is. You can call it all you want. Oh, white lives matter. Shut the fuck up. All lives matter. And that's the truth. All lives do matter. Not this neo-Nazi bullshit. Get this shit out of here. And I find it funny looking at some of the torches that they were carrying, like the cowards that they were, because they don't have any goddamn guts. They couldn't face anybody. They got pepper sprayed, which is what they deserved, by the way, and I hope they suffered horribly for it, for being the racist, moronic pieces of shit they are. I find it funny that they were carrying tiki torches. Oh, you're carrying tiki torches. If that's the best you could do, we're going to be neo-Nazis, but we're going to do it on a budget. This is ridiculous. This escalating violence is ridiculous. And not just here in the U.S., but all over the world. But I'm going to focus on the U.S. because I don't live somewhere else. I obviously don't live near Virginia. But I know people that do live near there. And they say it's scary. They say it's a mess. There are people of different races that are afraid to leave their house. That is not what America is. America should not be that. America should not be in fear of a bunch of stupid white supremacist, inbred, moronic fucks that probably couldn't find their own damn dick if they had two hands and a goddamn mirror. But then again, I don't think that any of them probably could find any of their private parts because they're too busy sticking it in their sister or their cousin because they're all a bunch of inbred morons that have to keep the race pure. Pure as an inbred. You guys are sick. Anybody that participated in those Charlottesville protests are sick. Everybody has the right, unfortunately, to express their rights or express their beliefs and that kind of stuff, but somebody, like the neo-Nazis, no, ridiculous. David Duke, hopefully David Duke's jailed. He should be. And if you don't know who David Duke is, Google him. The guy's an absolute cancer. Anybody that is a racist is a cancer. And let me say this much. You're talking to somebody or you're listening to somebody and watching somebody that used to be a massive racist. And I'm going to go into a little bit of detail. I've gone into detail a bit, in other videos. I used to be extremely racist and extremely homophobic. You know what fixed that? I realized that people do not deserve to be judged because of their race. I joke with friends of mine of different races, of different, genders, of, some that are gay, some that are bi, whatever. I joke about a lot of things. The difference is you can joke, but still appreciate who a person is deep inside, not just see them for their skin color because you're a hateful, moronic, bigoted, useless fuck. And that's what every single one of these white supremacists is. But let me just say again about myself, I used to be incredibly racist. It took a black friend of mine coming out to me as gay, and also that he had a scholarship to a particular college. And he told me that the reason he did that is because he felt he could trust me. Now, I can't describe the war that I had inside me when that happened. Because one, I hated myself. I had to work on myself and rewire my brain so much because one, it broke me because I couldn't understand why I was so hateful, why I was so racist, why I was so against gays. And that's the thing is, I changed. It took a while. Now, I, gave the guy a hug saying, dude, you're a good guy. That's what snapped in me. It took a while for me to work that out. Fortunately, he was able to get a scholarship. Now he's college educated. I don't know where he is now because I fell out of contact with the guy. The whole point is that he was doing well the last time I talked to him, which was sometime in 06, 07. But here's the reason I'm saying that. Being anti-gay, that's ridiculous. You can follow your precious, useless fairy tale of a Bible all you want. And that's my opinion. If you follow the Bible and use it for the right reasons, that's great. That is goddamn great. And yeah, I just said that with the Bible, so what? I don't follow it. But if you guys use it for the right for the right reasons and use the teachings properly and teach people to love and accept, whether you approve of the lifestyle or not is irrelevant. If you can't learn to appreciate and approve of something, then you're just going to get left in the dust. Now, does that mean that I'm going to go out and, I'm going to go like to Capitol Hill, which is a very gay-heavy section of Seattle and go to parties and stuff like that, even though I have friends out there? No, because I don't really party. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go protest outside there because, oh, they're gay. It's like they're allowed to live their lives the way they want. And by the way, you can't change yourself if you're gay. You're born that way or you're not. You discover that you're gay later on or whatever, because you repressed it or whatever, or you don't. You can't help what nationality you are. You can't help what race you are. And by the way, a lot of these white supremacists, I'm willing to bet a lot of you had parents or grandparents that came from Europe, and maybe you aren't all pure white as you thought. That a lot of times, that a lot of people, a lot of racists hate who they really are because of where they came from. It's all this deep-seated stuff. And okay, some of them growing up in a hateful home, yeah, the kids were never given a chance. Well, guess what? That's still not going to give me sympathy for them. It's not going to give me sympathy for anybody of any race that's going to hate somebody just because they're a different race. That's not the U.S. way to be. That's not the world way to be. That's not the Canadian way to be. That's not the Mexican way to be. That's not Europe. That's not Asia. That's not Russia. That's not any way to be. I mean, I know I left some countries out, and I'm sorry. The Australian way to be. It's not the human way to be. Humans are always going to judge, of course. Unfortunately, that tends to be what we do. I judge. I try not to, because people are different. Everybody's different. Everybody's allowed to live their lives. But to live a life of hate, you guys have issues, you guys have problems, and I will tell you that if this escalation of violence continues and the president does nothing, then I fear for what will happen next. I personally will not do anything. I will use my words. I will not use actions. I am not a fighter. And I'm not saying people should fight. But I would not be surprised if this kind of stuff gets worse. And unfortunately, it's going to get worse because, again, a bunch of stupid fucking white people thought it was a good idea to vote for Trump. And yeah, I got friends that voted for Trump. And sorry, guys, I mean, you can regret it all you want. The bottom line is the dumb fuck's in the office. I'm not saying Clinton would have done that great. I'm not saying she would have at all. I mean, I didn't like her one bit. But one more thing before I go. To all of you that are saying that about celebrities, oh, celebrities need to stay out of politics. You dumb fucks voted a celebrity in there. A celebrity that doesn't even have real hair, that isn't any kind of good-hearted human being, that wants to fuck his own goddamn daughter. Did you guys forget that? Or do you all want to fuck your own daughters because you're sick freaks? Seriously. What the actual fuck? How can you not look at Trump and oh, he's making America great again? You guys don't even know what that means. You're a bunch of bots. I'm willing to bet most of the Trump supporters on Twitter, on Facebook, on any kind of social media are a bunch of bots. Or they're a bunch of lobotomized idiots that still feel it's the 1940s and that, oh, it should be, colored drinking fountains and this kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying I believe that. I do not believe that at all. That is ridiculous to believe that way. But a lot of idiots believe that way. And unfortunately, the only thing really you can do to get through to them is to really just ignore them. Because you can't yell at them till you're blue in the face. You can't do that because all that's going to do is tire you out. You're not going to get through to a bunch of stubborn, stupid, inbred white supremacist fucks. Now, is it just the white supremacists? No, there's racism on all sides. There's prejudice on all sides. But the white supremacists feeling we've been wrong, we've been this, we've been that. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I'm going to speak as a white person. We've had it pretty fucking easy. Pretty goddamn easy. But no, let's support Trump, who wants to get rid of the transgender people in the military. Not like we don't need every single person willing to serve for when anything bad happens overseas or in our own country. Not like, and oh, gay people are bad. Gay people are not bad. They're not bad because they're gay. If they're bad, it's because they're bad people. But it's not because of their lifestyle. And don't let any fairy tale book or your own stupid inbred beliefs make you feel otherwise. Open up your mind. Realize that we're all humans. We're all different. We got to get along somehow. But if it's going to turn into this much hate, then I fear for what's going to happen in this country. I really honestly do. So all I'm going to say in closing, and that's if I don't have to take this video down, and I'll save it to my phone just in case. For all of you that voted for Trump, and some of you are my friends, I hope you feel really fucking stupid for it. Because you guys are part of the reason that this is happening. Now, this hatred would have ended up happening whether Trump got in office or whether Clinton got in office. Or whether Sanders got in office or something like that. Because people were ready to just burst and ready to snap because they feel they want the country back. But now Trump's there. Oh, you want it back because of what the black guy did. And you guys are too damn stuck in the sand. Head in the sand. And your ass sitting on the Confederate flag, which, by the way, the Confederate flag, I want to make it clear, some people still fly that and don't fly because of racism. They want to be rebels. That's fine. But no, you want to still think it's the 1940s or even that it's the 1800s and that every minority is beneath you, and that is fucking bullshit. And that's where I'm going to leave this off. You want to talk to me, my Twitter handle's in the description. You want to comment, I don't really care if anybody wants to be hateful. I don't expect this video to be up long. I'm not, but again, I want to make this clear. Despite everything that I'm saying, I'm not advocating that people die. I'm not advocating that anything happened to the president or the cabinet or anything like that. All I'm going to say is this kind of stuff, especially the stuff in Charlottesville, the blood is on their hands. And if you want to continue to be a hateful neo-Nazi and a hateful white supremacist and just a hateful human being in general and not get your thoughts out and try to grow as a person, you're going to get left in the dust. And then we won't have any use for you because we'll be up here and you'll be down in the cesspool where you belong. So if you got a problem because I don't support Trump, fuck you and fuck that administration.